Hello, SharpeSoft friends and family. This is William with SharpeSoft. I'm today going to show you a couple new features that we have coming out in our 2025 A release. Should be slated for any time now. We're going to do box culverts and a duck bank with the box culverts. So I'm in a job. I go to our jobs, bid items. Bid items is where we would show the information in our bid. Notice in here we have numbers, letters. I'm just showing that for demonstration purposes. You can change all that so it's exactly how you have it. Nothing is hard coded here, but this green represents there's no cost. So if we see that, I drive in, I double click, and these are what we call sublevels. And then now inside of the sublevel, if I double click, I want to go to detail. So notice there's no detail and information here. I want to click on a trench profile. I want to go to my storm drain. So this is an overall new feature where we're creating groups. We'll have other videos on this as well, but the groups now of tracking this information of the trench profile in the group. So I want to create a new trench. There is that. I'll go new trench. I'm going to call this 6x4 DBC, which will be a double box culvert. So we'll go 6 foot by 4 foot box culvert. You could put the stationing in there if you want to track that. I hit next. The section, I'm going to go lineal foot. So what we're doing right now is we're building an actual trench profile. Once you build this once, you could save this away into the item master, and you can always, or the trench profile master, you could always have access to this and then modify it as you go. So I'm adding the length. Again, once I hit next, I'm going to go cubic yards for my unit of measure. Now I have basically our open screen in the trench profile here. So what I'm going to do first, I'm going to create my first section. And so just due to benching rules, I'm probably going to set this up as a 4 foot, and then I'm going to bench the top. If you wanted this all to be vertical, if you're going to dig in a shield, you most certainly can do that. So let's just go 9 foot, actually, sorry, 5 foot on the depth. 16, 16, and then if I go 1 to 1, watch what happens here. As soon as I hit OK, it automatically builds that trench for us. Now I want to put in a fill section. So this will be the material. I'm going to go 1 inch plus rock. And I could change the depth here. So I'm going to go 1 foot. There's the unit of measure. I'll keep the color black. Now the material, I click on the icon. This will go to my material list, and I want to get rock. And I'm going to go with 1.5 inch crushed rock there. So I'm going to select that material. There's the weight. There's my conversion weight. I can add a waste factor. So I'm going to put 5% on both. And then I'm connecting it to that particular bid item. Remember when we started, there was no information in that bid. So select that. There's the color. I'm going to hit OK. I'll pick the price. You have the chance to select a vendor, and it'll keep track and update the database if you want. So there's that 1 inch plus rock. So now I could finish up my sections with material if I want, or I could build the pipe. I'm going to go and build the duck bank pipe. And so I'm going to go 6x4 box culvert. And again, you could put whatever you want. We're going to do this to be 1 foot. Pipe color, I want to make this to be orange. So once I select the orange and hit OK, then the material here, I'm going to go down in my group. It's going to be, for me, it's in drain pipe. This could be fully customizable to you. I want it to go concrete box, and then there's my 6x4. I'm not advocating that these prices are correct. This is just demo data, but now we have that box culvert. Now I can choose elliptical or box or round. If I go with a box, I want it to be 4 foot. I'm going to go lineal foot tall, and I'm going to call this 6 foot. The banked, now I want 2 of them, and I want 2 wide, and I'm going to go 0.5 as the distance between them. The center grade's going to be fine. The wall thickness, I will go here as 0.5. And then now here for this item, instead of it being going to item A, I want to go to storm drain, pick the storm drain item, and then I want to put it in the pipe material because I want the pipe material separate from my aggregate material. So know it's linked it there, and now I'm going to hit OK. And then there's those 2 box culverts. Now I could come in and say I want to have, this is going to be crush rock material. And I'm going to go 5 foot. I want to change the color of the material to gray, just because I like that color gray. I'm going to click the material again. I'm picking my aggregates. I'm going to go back down to rock, and now I want to go with, let's just call this as 3/4 inch crush rock. I'll put 5% in here, 5% waste, and again, I'm going to link it to that item A because that's where I want my rock material. Now I hit OK, pick that vendor. Notice now that material is added. I could move the pipe, and as I start to move the pipe, it automatically adjusts that there, if you see that. So this is real time, active in your bid. Now I want to come in and I want to put in, I'll call this select material. And let's just say I want to go 1.5 foot, and I want to make this, we'll go green material, and I'm going to go with the code. I know it's S, so I'm going to hit tab. There it is. I want to bring it in by the area and the volume. Maybe I buy it by cubic yards instead. So there's that lineal footage, and I won't add any waste, and I'll hit OK. There's that price of that material, and then now I add native material, and it gives me the arrow to finish up the trench. I'll put this color as the maroon color. I'll hit OK, and now I select this as native, and it just says OK. So notice now what has happened. There's my trench spoils right here, 979 cubic yards, and 1,251 is what I have to excavate. But maybe this select material now needs to go up to the top. So see the select material? I now want to push this to the top. The quantities change, and now I have that material with that. So the moment I hit OK, now watch what happens. The trench profile is built. The material has now been populated. So there is my select material. There is my 3/4 crush material. There is my pipe material, my crush rock, my 1.5 inch crush rock. And then now my pipe material is also changed. So now if I go into here, notice that 400 feet. If I come into here and I want to change this to 220 feet, the moment I hit OK, the footages change. There's that 400 feet, 440 feet, and then my aggregate material has changed as well. So real time. So let's just look at the select material for 299. I'm going to change this back to 200, and maybe I want to make my top slope. I'm going to do it as a 0.5 to 1. That material is now there. I hit OK. That material has been instantly updated in my bid wherever it's linked to. So you could link to as many items as you feel like you want, or you could just link to one. So we just built a trench profile as we were talking. We linked it here. I'm going to go back and just put that to 1-to-1. That material's being updated now in our bid in real time. Now if I want to go for material for off-haul, notice if I click back into the trench profile here, I now have 1,012, so we'll call it 1,013 of material that needs to be exported. So I'll put in 1013. I will now double click on this. I happen to have an end-up truck in here, and now I'm going to click on what we call our equipment hauling calculation. And I'm going to go, I want 3 in dumps, our capacity, we're going to go 15. And this was 1,013. My distance to the hull, we'll call it 20 miles. We'll go 40 miles an hour loaded, 45 unloaded. Our load time, we could load in 4 minutes, unload in 4 minutes. And let's just say we put a 10-minute waste time. And now what it's telling me, I have 3.5 days with those 3 trucks. I set that for the crew. I hit OK. Let's just say I have 10, we'll call it 95 dump fees. And then I'm going to go and change my truck drivers. And then now I've bid my off haul for that particular item. Now I'd come in if I want to bid this install of the box culvert. Let's just say I want a piece of equipment. I want to go in and grab an excavator, and I'm going to grab a, let's just say a Komatsu 750. Again, this would be set up specifically to you. If I wanted multiple equipment, if I clicked on my equipment here, let's just say a loader, I could say I wanted a 966 and then go down to my trucks and say I wanted to have, let's just say an off-road rock truck and a water truck. And now all 3 of those, as I drag them in, will be drug into the bid with their particular operators. So now I could say that I'll do 20 feet a day or 20 days. If I wanted to change the production, 20 feet, that changes my production automatically. So we started out, we went into the item with no cost. I'm not advocating the cost is correct. This is demo data, but your data would be specific. We came in, we built a trench profile. So there's that trench profile. We quickly bid the spoil removal, and then we quickly bid the material off haul. So this information now is ready for any part. You come back to the job, I come back to the trench profiler, and now when you're ready to get your crew to look at this information, you show them the box culvert, you hit OK, and that report is instantly available based on what you bid. So that way everybody knows exactly how you figured that particular job. No information loss. Everything's super easy, super quick, super efficient. So we don't know how you're bidding right now, but we would like you to check out SharpeSoft Estimator. We've been serving the construction industry with excellence since 1986. We hope you're well. God bless. Talk to you later. Bye.